I want you to look where we are today. We're back in Lois's kitchen. Now what happens when we go to Lois's kitchen? Good stuff. Probably the best jam cake I've ever had in my life. One of the things that you've done, one of the many things you've done. It's almost getting that time of year, by the way. I'm just saying. Award-winning, yum yum, can't beat it. But today, it's something a little old-fashioned. What are we having?
We're having rhubarb dumplings.
Not rhubarb pie, mind you, rhubarb dumplings. Now, where did you first hear about this recipe or try this recipe?
Well, my grandmother and my mother always made fruit dumplings of any kind of fruit, any kind of berries, and always rhubarb.
Rhubarb.
And my grandmother always made bean dumplings. That was a good dumpling.
Dumplings.
Yeah. So you didn't always have to have chicken or turkey to have dumplings.
So this is a sweet dish.
This one is a sweet dish, yes.
Now, you know, when I think of rhubarb, I just automatically think of my grandmother. That's kind of, a lot of people today have never heard of it. It's kind of an old-fashioned thing. So I like the fact that you've got this rhubarb sitting over here. We can see what it looks like, see what it tastes like, see what the consistency of it is, and make dumplings out of it. Kind of not something everybody's doing nowadays. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to kind of stand out of the way and watch you take this rhubarb and make some dumplings out of it.
Okay.
Because
All
I know
right.
it's going to be good if it's coming from your kitchen.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Okay, normally I will cut my rhubarb like into small pieces like this. And I like to use 4 cups of rhubarb. Bring that to a boil. And it doesn't take but very little time.
So
for
it boils
to-
down pretty quick.
It boils down pretty quick and it gets real good and tender. I use 4 cups of rhubarb, 4 cups of water, and 1 cup of sugar. And you might think that that's not enough sugar, but it really is. And I guess if it's not sweet enough for some people, they can add sugar to it. And then I make a dough. I use 2 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and this is a half a cup of shortening and 2 tablespoons of cold butter. And that has to be good and cold. And then you go to adding water. 4 tablespoons of water.
So the butter needs to be cold and the water needs to be cold.
And the shortening needs to be cold.
Okay.
And that's the way we make
Now, let
our
me ask you
dough
this.
for the dumplings.
By chance, the way you make your chicken and dumplings too? So these are dumplings, period.
These are dumplings, period. So now we're ready to roll this out. We'll get this going, bring it to a boil. Got to put a sleeve on my rolling pin here. Put a little flour on that so that it won't stick. And just start rolling. And you roll it to where it's very thin. My grandmother would, and she was the one, of course, that I first saw doing that. She would use her biscuit dough, actually left from breakfast, what was left, and make those dumplings, the bean dumplings, and they were just great.
Bean dumplings.
Bean dumplings. As soon as this boils, then we'll start dropping dumplings in.
What is the first time you remember helping out? Did you feel like you're a big shot?
Well, I remember when they put electricity in our house, and I can remember the first little hand mixer that we had, and they let me mash the potatoes, and I think I was like 10 or 12 years old at that time, and that was big stuff. My mother was always a big cake baker, and my grandmother was a pie maker. Now, she made lots of fancy pies. You know, anything that was in season, she could make a pie out of it.
So you just cutting little 1.5 inch sections. So this is actually, you know, I was thinking, you know, anytime you do dumplings in a fairly long drawn out process, this is a fairly simple, quick recipe.
Very simple and very quick. My grandsons, when they were little, liked to come and drop the dumplings in it, like at Thanksgiving and Christmas time when
That
they
was
were
their job?
little. Yeah, they liked to do that. And one thing that I don't want ever to do is stir while the dough is cooking, because you just wind up with a lot of
Little pieces.
little
parts and
pieces. But if you want your dumplings to stay in one piece, don't stir them until they're
Because
finished.
you'll knock them apart.
That's right.
So what was your grandma's name that made this?
My grandmother's name was Molly Lane.
Molly Lane. I like remembering where we came from, and I like to go back as far as I can. I think it's so cool to carry on that tradition. So let's thank Molly Lane for this recipe.
That was hers.
I'm gonna take a big bite here.
Got enough sugar in it?
That's magic. It's so good. You know what? You make it look so easy. I know I couldn't do that good a job. Oh man. If you've never had rhubarb, it really does open up your every bit of your tongue. That is nice. That is so good. Some people say that they would want strawberries with this.
You don't think so?
No, Thank you so much again for hooking us up in Lois's kitchen. Bobby Joe's sitting right over here. He's got a box of tomatoes for me to take home. I guess I'll just have to take them.